Hello everyone, this is the second tutorial in this video tutorial series where I'll be covering the basics of NX through practical examples. In this tutorial, we'll be preparing a 2D drawing of the part that we already created in tutorial number 1. So if you haven't already seen this tutorial, you can go ahead and find the link of the tutorial 1 in the description section of this video. So let's begin with this tutorial. So as you can see, I've already opened the part that I created in tutorial 1, and now let's begin and let's start to create the drawing. So in order to go to the make the drawing, we need to go to the drafting view. For that, we click on file and click on the drafting view here. And alternatively, we can also use a shortcut, which is Ctrl plus Shift plus D. Let's simply click it with this time. Automatically, you can see that you have some options that are visible here above, where you can select the different sizes, or you can also use some templates, or you can use standard size. In this case, I'm using a template, and there's an option to basically check what all commands will be there when you are starting it. So in this case, I have kept it as base view command. So let's click OK. So since I had selected base view as the command that would be appearing immediately after opening the drawing, so you can see that this command window has been opened here. Now you can have different options here. So let's select the model view. In this case, I need the right side view. In order we can place it anywhere, you just need to click the left mouse button. Let's do that. And now you can see that there's a projected view that is automatically coming up. You simply need to, by moving the mouse, you can simply select which specific view you want. In this case, I would like to have this particular view, which is visible here, and I place it here. You can keep on adding as many views as you want. You just have to keep on left clicking as soon as you find the correct view. In this case, I just want 2 views, so let's click on close. And now let's start dimensioning this. So in order to do that, we can have the different options in the home tab, like the rapid dimension, the linear dimension, chamfer, radial, etc. So in this video, I'll be basically concentrating on only two, that is the linear dimension and the radial dimension. So let's begin. As you can see, I use the linear dimension. I will dimension this side. Okay. Let's finish the dimension, and then we'll discuss a little bit detail into what other options are available in this. So we have finished all the linear dimension. Let's complete this radial dimension. For this, I will need to click the radial dimension button here and just select this arc. As you can see, automatically we have R15, which is a radial dimension. You can change this to diametral if you want. So you can see it is changing to 530, which is diametral. Let's leave it to the default radial. Now let's see some other options that we can tweak with in the dimensions. So as you can see that all my dimensions currently have only the nominal value of the dimension. So if you double click this, you will have a list of options where you can add, let's say, the tolerance. You can see that there are many options. Let's select the bilateral tolerance in this case, and automatically you'll have some default tolerance value, which in this case is 0.1. Let's change it to, let's say, 1 mm. You can also see there are some other boxes here. So this is basically used when you want to put some additional comments or some specific letters before, after, or on top or below this particular dimension. Let's see how this works. If I put something on here, we are basically adding something on top. You can see here. Similarly, you can place some letter, text, or number, anything you want before the dimension. And similarly, you have something, you can place it after it or under it. Let's just delete this because we don't need to put all these dimensions here. So a practical example of how we can basically use this is, for example, if we have the same dimension at multiple locations, we could, for example, let's say do 2 into this dimension. So this is just an example here. Let's see some other options that are available here. So you can see that there is this text settings option, where you'll have a lot of options. So mainly I'll be concentrating on the size here. You can see there's an option to change the dimension text and tolerance text size. Now you can basically have the option to modify the height, the front gap factor. This will be more obvious if I select the radial dimension. In this case, it is basically determines the distance between the center and this, and then we have similar other options like the line gap factor and others. You can basically tweak these and check what exactly these do. So similar to the tolerance text, you can also modify the dimension sizes of the dimension text, and if you want to independently do just modify the size of the dimension text or just the tolerance text, you need to uncheck this option, which is by default selected. So let's leave this all default. Let's see some more options that we can use in case of this radial dimension. So let's say I want to place this in the horizontal direction. I double click this. Either I can use this, but I normally prefer to go to the settings because there you'll see there are much more options. So again, we need to click on text, orientation and location. So in this case, as you can see, it is by default over the dimension line. But let's change it to horizontal, and now you can see we have another option, that is the position. Currently by default it is text after stub. You can change it to the text over stub. For me this looks more appealing and cleaner, so I'll leave it with this option. Let's close this. Again, let's move this so that it looks a little bit better. So I think we can call it a day for this tutorial, and in the next tutorial we will be covering the revolve command in 3D. And so stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe.